Hi, everyone. We're going to have a super easy lesson today on multiple transversals and multiple parallel lines. And let's get right to it. So, fact, I have a statement right here. Parallel lines cut transversals into proportional lengths. All right. So here we have lines L, M, and N are all parallel. And look at the little symbols right here, which assure you that they are parallel in addition to the given statement. All right. So the way we think about our numbers here is kind of like analogies, if you remember analogies. So 8 is to 48 as X is to 12. Let's make some number sense because, to make a long story short, we're basically saying 8 is to 48 as X is to 12. By as, we mean like the same, that they have the same relationship. All right. Well, some of you guys might remember that if two fractions are equivalent, then their cross products are equivalent. So we can say 12 times 8 should be the same as 48 times X. In other words, 96 equals 48X and X equals 2. Both sides by 48, I get 2 is equal to X. Plug up my computer before it loses battery. All right, and that's that. But if you really want to make sense of proportions, instead of just setting up the fraction and cross multiplying every time, think of it like this. This segment 8, and the drawings are obviously not to scale. The number 8 has the same relationship to the number 48 as the unknown number X has to the number 12. So think of it. What's the relationship between 8 and 48? Some might say, well, 48 is 40 units larger than 8. But a better answer is, well, 48 is 6 times the value of 8. Well, that means that whatever my value for X is, 6 times that value will be 12. Well, what number times 6 gives me 12? The number 2. So you see, the relationship makes sense. We can also look at this in another viewpoint, right? We can say, well, the relationship between my long segments, the relationship between short segment to long segment is really should be the same for both sets right here. So 12 is to 48. 12 is to 48 as X is to 8. So the relationship between, you can do it either way, between 12 to 48 is, well, 48 is 4 times, right? 4 times. So if I take 8, if 8 is 4 times this number, well, 8 divided by 4 is 2. Once again, we realize that number is 2. So this is really more of a review of how do proportions work, all right? And the last thing I'm going to say is there's actually a definition of fractions, right? If you have a fraction, and this comes from the fact of that we learned how to reduce fractions, right? If two fractions are actually equivalent, such as, for example, 1/2 being the same as 5/10, these two fractions are indeed equivalent. That means that their cross products are equivalent. So we say AD is always the same as CB, all right? So 1 times 10, which is 10, is the same as 5 times 2, which is also 10. This only works when you have two fractions equivalent to one another. That's today's lesson.